Thank you guys. Thank you all so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here. I'm kind of brought from America. I usually am an engineer, obviously, and I don't get to talk to people that often. I'm usually just typing away, so this is very exciting for me. I want to talk about hack and what hacking is. You guys have all been invited here to hack. I don't know how many of you know what hacking is. It is not, as my mother once assumed, that we are juvenile criminals breaking into government services. We're not doing that today. What is hacking? I want to give you a physical example of hacking, because I think people get a little confused and they think that hacking is something that engineers do, or that it's something that involves software or computer science. It's not. Hacking is a way of thinking about problems. So this is a problem. I'm going to give it to you guys. This is a room at Facebook, which, as you can see, has about 6 monitors in it, and we needed, because we're low on space, to put 20 people in this room, each with a desk and a monitor. Now, I submit to you that sheer physics dictates that you cannot put 20 desks and monitors in this space. It just doesn't work. The floor plan is just too small. But we had to do it. If I put people in a room and said, how do you solve this problem? There's a number of solutions, all of them bad. You could rotate people. People could share desks, share monitors. People could sit on the floor. You could have some people sit outside somewhere. We obviously went through all these solutions and couldn't think of anything until somebody, one night, and this is actually at a hackathon, built a loft. They solved the problem on a dimension that was unexpected. We look at a room and we look at, well, there's a width and there's a length, and that's your square footage, right? That's it, that's your square footage. We were wrong, we didn't look at the height. And I say this to you now, you say, well, that's obvious now. Of course it's obvious now, but I tell you, a lot of smart people looked at this for a little while before they came up with it. I'll give you another example. Not to be outdone, I didn't come up with the first one, I was stumped on the first one. When my team needed more space, we realized we could put a hole in a wall. Now, and I love this just as a metaphor. There is nothing more tangible than a wall to us. Like, right, we're people, we get into a room, there's got 4 walls in it, and you think, certainly, if I know nothing else, I know that these walls are physical. These walls exist, and they are immovable. And it's within the confines of this physical space that I will operate. But you're wrong. There are some structural walls, and it's important to figure out which ones those are. But there are some walls that are not structural, and you can put interesting shaped holes in them and extend your space. I want to show you guys this list of things that were built, that were started at hackathons. The like button, for God's sake, that's a huge thing. Facebook chat, an incredible kind of accomplishment. 7 billion messages per day over Facebook chat right now. 7 billion. That was started at a hackathon. I'll give you a little piece of advice, since you guys are going to do your own hackathon. It's not a brainstorm. Okay, brainstorms there's no bad ideas. And the goal is to cover as broad, just really uncover the space, to just explore what is possible. At hackathons, there are definitely bad ideas. The problem is you don't know which ones are which just yet. So the goal is to build as quickly as you can, to discover which ideas are good and which ideas are bad. At the end of a hackathon, you want to have something you can show somebody and convince them on that basis that is the right thing to do. You want to have Facebook chat working. It won't be what you're going to ship. It won't be nice. It won't look nice. But it'll give people the feeling of what it is to chat on Facebook. And when they see that, you have to believe they will be convinced. We have this saying at Facebook, move fast and break things. Though you may have noticed bugs in the site, I assure you this is not an actual exhortation for us to break things. It's meant to be taken on a much longer timeline. So I want you to imagine this. The best way I can explain what move fast, break things means to us, and it's a very hacker type of thing, is imagine I told you your goal was to get to the highest ground you could, the highest elevation you could. You might reasonably stand where you were, look around, pick the high ground, and go for it. And you walk and you climb and you walk and you climb, and you get to the top of the hill, and most likely, you know what you see when you get to the top of the hill? Mountain. Damn it. Just got to the top of this hill. The only way to get from the hilltop to the mountaintop is to go down into the valley. And you just spent all this time coming up from the valley. It's very painful. But you have to do it. The idea of moving fast and breaking things is about never being comfortable. It's about never being afraid to throw away a good thing in pursuit of a great thing. Really never being satisfied with where you're at right now, never feeling comfortable. A lot of hacking is about revisiting those assumptions, those things that your whole life you have told yourself, no, whatever else happens, I know that this is something that I've got handled, and asking yourself if that's really true. When I first started working for Facebook, people used to say, what's Facebook? Today, Facebook people say, oh, congratulations. It's like, congratulations, that's what they say. And congratulations, it's nice, and I appreciate that. But it has such an implication of, oh, you're done. Congratulations, you're finished, you succeeded. And we just don't see things that way. And it's bizarre, because when we launch products, people say, first of all, this is just a show of hands. Who's joined a protest group about a Facebook product? Be honest, anyone? Okay, there's like 20 people, and about 50 of you are lying. Just flat lying. I know the numbers. I will run the numbers on you guys. And we make these changes, and people say, oh, how arrogant. How arrogant of you to assume that you know what it is that we want. And the irony is, it's the opposite of arrogance. It's humility. We know for a fact that we don't know what you want. We have an idea of what we think might work, and we're going to put that out there and see how people use it and make changes very quickly. Right? That's how iterative development works. This is a funny story. I'll tell about Newsfeed. Newsfeed was one of the products I first worked on when I joined Facebook. We spent 6 months building it, and I was really excited because I thought when we launched it was going to be such a game changer. People were going to create fan groups for me, and they're going to have adoration, and people were going to like me. They didn't, actually. 2 million people joined a protest group, and 2 million may not seem like a lot, but at the time, Facebook only had 12 million users. So 2 million was an unbelievable number of our user base. Imagine a product that you worked for, a sixth of your users fully joining a protest group after you launched something. We weren't that excited about it. We listened to the feedback. We made changes. 2 weeks later, we launched a bunch of changes to Newsfeed. The revolt died down, and now Newsfeed is so beloved. This isn't the original protest group. This is a new protest group for some recent changes to the original Newsfeed. They liked it so much that then later, when we changed it again, they re-protested. And I expect this to continue ad infinitum. So this is a very common part of iterative development. So a lot of this thing for hackathons, I want to release you guys from the fear of making a mistake. I want you to feel okay with failing. The goal is just to fail fast. The faster you fail, the faster you can get on the track to success. Right? So just releasing yourself from the fear we carry with us all the time about failing, because we don't have the answers. Let me save you the trouble. We don't have the answers. We have some ideas. We want to talk with you guys and be a part of that dialogue where we all together are able to make progress and start feeling things out in the same way we did with Newsfeed. We have a saying at Facebook as we come around to hackathons, which is happy hacking. And the idea, it's a little bit like, it's a battle cry. It's a battle hymn, It's a little, happy hacking is, you're about to go and do something where there's a very high likelihood that you will be killed. Not physically, thankfully, we don't live in a particularly violent engineering community at Facebook. It's a relatively well-behaved group. But it's certainly in the standpoint of, okay, you're about to try something that's scary, that's not been done before, that people have almost certainly told you is a terrible idea, that Mark Zuckerberg may have told you is a terrible idea, right? And you're going to build it anyways, because you believe that what you're doing is right. And only in the showing of that, only in the demonstration of your vision, will you really know whether you succeeded or failed. And the biggest mistake we make at Facebook or anywhere is not trying to build those things, right? Is getting comfortable with the things that we've already built. So I say to all of you on the eve of your own hackathon, happy hacking.